Chapter 1. The Betrayal. I stood in the corner of the grand conference room, my eyes fixed on the large screen displaying the project I had poured my heart and soul into for the past year. The room was filled with the company's top executives, including my wife, Ling Xu, the CEO of Xing Technologies. She stood at the podium, her voice confident and commanding as she presented my project to the board. But she didn't mention my name. Not once. Instead, she credited her male assistant, Zhang Wei, for the brilliant innovation that was supposed to revolutionize the company. My stomach churned as I watched Zhang Wei stand up, accepting the applause with a smug smile. Ling Xue glanced at him, her eyes filled with admiration, and handed him a small gift, a luxury watch. A gift I had never received from her in all our years of marriage. I clenched my fists, my nails digging into my palms. The project wasn't even complete. I had been working tirelessly to perfect it, but Lin had taken it from me before I could finish. She didn't care about the details, the risks, or the fact that I had sacrificed everything for this. All she cared about was the spotlight and Zhang Wei's approval. As the meeting ended, Lin approached me, her heels clicking sharply against the marble floor. "You should be proud," she said, her tone condescending. "Your work is finally contributing to the company's success." I stared at her, my jaw tight. "It's my work, Lin. Not Zhang Wei's, not yours. Mine." She waved her hand dismissively. "Don't be petty. You're part of this team. It's not about individual recognition." I wanted to scream, to tell her how much she had hurt me, but I held my tongue. Lin had always been prideful, always believed she was untouchable. She thought I was nothing without her, that I would never leave her. But she was wrong. Chapter 2. The Hidden Truth. That night, I sat alone in our penthouse, staring at the city lights through the floor to ceiling windows. Lin was out again, probably with Zhang Wei. She had been spending more and more time with him, dismissing my concerns with excuses about work. But I knew better. The way she looked at him, the way she laughed at his jokes, it was more than professional. I reached for my phone and dialed a number I hadn't used in years. My father answered on the second ring. "It's time," I said simply. My father, the head of the wealthy and influential Jiang family, whom Lin didn't know about, had always disapproved of her. He had warned me that she was too ambitious, too self-centered. But I had been blinded by love, by the belief that we could build something great together. Now, I saw the truth. "You have finally come to your senses," my father said. "We'll have all partners withdraw." Sigh. She never even realized that the success she took for granted was only possible because of you. Chapter 3. The Fall. The next few weeks were a whirlwind. I resigned from Xing Technologies, leaving Lin shocked and furious. She accused me of abandoning her, of being ungrateful. But I didn't care. I had my own plans. Meanwhile, the project began to fall apart. Without my expertise, the flaws I had been working to fix became glaring issues. The company's stock plummeted and investors started pulling out. Lin was desperate, but she was too proud to ask for my help. Instead, she turned to Zhang Wei, who promised her solutions but delivered nothing. I watched from afar as their relationship grew more intimate. Lin gave him expensive gifts, took him to exclusive events, and even introduced him to her inner circle. She thought she wasn't crossing any boundaries, but everyone could see the truth. Chapter 4. The New Beginning. While Lin struggled, I focused on my own future. My family introduced me to a woman named Mei Ling, the daughter of a powerful business tycoon. She was beautiful, intelligent, and kind, everything Lin wasn't. We grew close quickly, and it wasn't long before our families arranged our engagement. At the same time, Xing Technologies was on the verge of bankruptcy. Lin finally swallowed her pride, realizing all her support came from me. She begged for help, but it was too late. "You made your choice," I said coldly. "Now live with it." Chapter 5. The reckoning. Lin's downfall was swift and brutal. Zhang Wei betrayed her, leaking company secrets to a competitor and leaving her with nothing. She was forced to marry him to save face, but their marriage was a nightmare. He mistreated her, humiliated her, and eventually left her for another woman. Meanwhile, I married Mei Ling in a lavish ceremony attended by the elite of society. Lin watched from the sidelines, her once proud demeanor shattered. She realized too late what she had lost. Chapter 6. The regret. Years later, I ran into Lin at a charity event. She looked tired and worn, a shadow of the woman she used to be. She approached me, her eyes filled with regret. "I was wrong," she whispered. "I should have appreciated you. I should have trusted you." I looked at her, feeling nothing but pity. "It's too late for apologies, Lin. You made your bed. Now lie in it." As I walked away, arm in arm with Mei Ling, I knew I had made the right choice. Lynn's betrayal had led me to a better life, a happier life. And she? She was left with nothing but her regrets. Epilogue. The Zhang family's influence continued to grow, and I became a respected figure in the business world. Mei Ling and I built a life filled with love and success, while Lin faded into obscurity. Sometimes I wondered if she ever thought about what could have been. But in the end, it didn't matter. I had moved on, and she was just a chapter in my past. A chapter I was glad to close.